Check the audio here. Check the audio here. Alright, I could probably make this a little louder. Alright. Looks like that is all good. Could probably make this a little louder. Music. Why am I hearing myself through this? Alright, there we go. Let's get some drone and a little drone practice. Oh, I clipped the ground there. Let's restart. Going on, Rusty? Just doing a little chilling right now. I'm probably gonna hop on GT7 soon, but I was doing some droning earlier, and I haven't pulled out my FPV drone in a while, so I just want to get a little practice in. I mean, when I mainly use my drones, I stick to my DJI Mini 4 Pro, which I know that means nothing to you probably, but essentially that's the one that's more like, it's more controlled and stable for, I guess you could call it like cinematography. Versus, I have another one called the Avata 2, and you can do all this crazy stuff with it. And I'm not as good with the Avata, the FPV drone, so I like to get some practice in. Just because they are expensive, so... Like when it comes to like doing something cinematic, I feel like around like anything, like if I was to try and circle this plane, it's so much harder in an FPV. That's right, dude, that new e-brake, man, that thing was looking mint in dirt too. Yeah, it's gotta be so much fun testing it out in a game like that. Cool graphics too, I didn't realize how old of a game it was. I keep clipping that. Oh, if I made that, that would be cool. This is how you practice those maneuvers, though. You gotta come into something like this. I mean, there's so many simulators nowadays. That's kind of the cool part. And even on like my phone and on my laptop, I have different like more specified simulators for the actual controllers and mechanics of the drone I have. Versus with this one, I'm kind of using, I'll show you, kind of using all these world-class drone racing drones. Like, and this is just like speeds you wouldn't find in your everyday that you're gonna buy at like Best Buy, for instance, or something like that. Those are all pretty much custom made. I mean, some of them I guess you could find that they'll piece it together for you and they could buy it wholesale, but for the most part, yeah, you pretty much have to make those. And yeah, man, you seriously should. It's so much fun with FPV. So even the cool part of like something like the DJI Mini 4 Pro, even though it's more like cinematography and like stability based, so you're not going to get all this flipping action and crazy stuff like that, you still can go in what's called FPV mode. And so I'll kind of show you what that looks like. It's almost like you're flying around and you have this ability to do the tilts. That's the cool part of FPV. But unlike my Avata 2, the Avata 2 can do full flips, 360, all this stuff. And you also get, I don't always use it. I mean, you can set it up multiple ways depending on how you like it. Yo, it's going on slow. But with the Avata 2, the cool part of that is you have the ability, if you want, to make it compatible with DJI goggles. So it's like an immersive VR goggles that you're essentially like, kind of like how I'm playing this now, looking right through. And so you pretty much like are the drone. Oh, I clipped that. And the cool part of that one too is most drones, you're flying on like an RC style controller. The DJI Mini is really cool because it actually offers a screen that you can watch through opposed to the goggles. So that's really cool because it's like if you're not into VR and stuff like that, like it's just a seamless way of droning with like without having to actually physically watch your drone at all times, even though you are supposed to technically by law. But yeah, between the goggles and the Avata 2 has this really cool motion sensor controller. So unlike the handheld device I was just describing, kind of like a PS5 controller or something like that, the motion sense controller is almost like, kind of like picture like a Wii controller. So like it's following literally the motions that your hands are giving it, so to speak. It's slow. Hope the day's going well, man. I'm just getting some good old drone practicing in. See if I can remember a lot of these mechanics. Alright, I'll start doing some crazier stuff. I really wish I had a capture card right now, and I mean, I pretty much have Streamlabs set up. I should probably set up OBS. I've heard that's a little easier to use. But my whole point being is I feel like games like Flight Sim and like doing something like this would go so well on vertical. Just people passing by that just like want something to watch. Versus I feel like racing, don't get me wrong, like we always, all of us that stream, we know this. Like you get a good amount of people coming into your stream. But I don't know, I feel like shorts aren't really the same because it's more like community based, so people are coming in to like hang out, do this, do that. Versus I feel like the shorts, at least, the live shorts that I see that get the most amount of viewers are all like this like ASMR, like just people doing stuff type thing that's like super entertaining. Not that GT7 isn't, but like, I don't know, I feel like there's certain things that are a little more easy on the eyes. And the ears. Maybe this isn't one. And what do I know, man? Seriously, I feel like I'm such a new streamer. I have no idea what attracts people. I'm just going based on what I see. I feel like every time I see a GT7 vertical, it's just like, well, maybe like 20, sometimes 30 people in there. And then I'll come across like a Microsoft Flight Sim vertical and it's like 900 people are watching this guy just like flying a straight line over a city. It's like, what? Yeah, fisheye lens is wild, seriously. So for Avata, you don't really need it. It's more, I guess, the simulator aspect because these things are so fast and doing so much rotation speed, you need a little more field of view. So when you reduce your field of view, I forget how the equation works, but essentially when you reduce it, you create the fish lens effect by doing this. Yeah, exactly, Rusty. Exactly. Versus if I zoomed, you'd probably see this more accurately as to how you'd actually be seeing it if I were flying it on FPV. Oh, I want to go through that. Didn't line it up right. Nah, that's not gonna work. Alright, let's try a new track. I'm not doing this for too long, so let's just mess around a little bit. Mega City could be cool. Let's try that one. Let's see what Mega City's all about. Starts. What's up for you today, Rusty? Doing any lives? You still working right now? You prepping for some racing? Yo, I did, seriously. Especially as like a GT7 big time watcher and occasional streamer, as you know. I love watching racing that mixes it up. And for me, I feel like you have, I guess, what am I trying to say? You have the fan base and the subscribers that already love GT7 and are watching you. But you gotta think, there's probably a lot of us, just like me, that have never seen or experienced that game. And so to do the basics, everyone's heard of Forza, you know, everyone's seen that. Everyone's seen Need for Speed back in the day. Like, I don't care who you are, you've had some exposure to those games. Versus Dirt is a little more niche. And you could even argue, like, the Crew, stuff like that is a little more niche. I mean, maybe a little more popular than Dirt. But, yeah, man, that was a trip for me. I've just never really seen that style of it. And the fact, I don't know if you just did this to the settings or if the game's like this, but I really love the no HUD too. It just really makes it a little more simplified. Not simplified to what you're watching, but like simplified graphics wise, I guess. Versus even in GT7, I mean, you need that information, but like, it can seem, I guess, a little arcadey having all the HUD options up. Versus, like, I guess to the viewer's eyes watching with nothing. But half the reason half of us are watching in GT7 is to learn ourselves. So I feel like you need that information for something like that. Alright, let's try some real tricks. I'm distracting myself. I do the same in racing. I'm sure you guys do too. But whenever I'm live, I just like am not focused on what I'm doing. I'm just like messing around. Honestly, you should, man. If you're going live later, you should start the stream off with Dirt. And I feel like, I mean, yeah, it's nice to title it so people find it if they're looking for Dirt. But for the most part, I mean, if you're going to be doing GT7, you can probably just label it that way. But it is annoying on the PS5 when you're switching games. Oh, come on, make this. Ah, no chance. Let's try it again. It is nice when you're, or I'm sorry, it's annoying when you're switching games that you kind of have to like stop the stream. What am I doing right now? Portal, what's going on, you legend? How's the day going, man? I'm just getting a little flight simulator in here, or not flight sim, I'm sorry, drone simulator. This is the Drone Racing League. I have another game called Liftoff too, on my, oh my god, on my PS5, but I don't know, I like this one a little better. Because I've heard Liftoff is mainly better for PC, from what most people say. I was explaining to Rusty before, oh my god, make that, yes, that was sweet. Through the gap. Alright, the next one is I want to go down one of these towers, though. That would be cool. I was explaining to Rusty before, though, how I'm a lot better with my cinematic drone, which is called a DJI Mini 4 Pro. This would be more like my I flipped the wrong way. My DJI Avata. And so this is totally FPV. You can do flips, everything like that. I mean, you can still get great video footage, don't get me wrong, especially chasing things, going on mountainsides. It can go way higher speeds than the Mini 4 Pro. And plus you have all these like acrobatic abilities. But I just tend to like, when it comes to true like cinematography of like, I don't know, shooting around a house, or you're shooting outside of a house for real estate, or you're doing something for commercial mapping, or you're doing, I don't know, if you needed it for search and rescue. I find the stable ones are much more practical for using, for I guess those servicing reasons, so to speak. And I don't participate in Drone League. I did when I first got the simulator. I tried it out. But lately, as of like the last like 6 months to a year, this game, I mean, everyone says it in all the Reddit forums. This game, I don't know if it's like the data packages or what, but like 50% of people that play this game can't get to online services, which is me included. So when I hop on, like I'll show you right now, I can't like put on my pro mode, I can't do any of this stuff. I mean, it's locked in pro mode, thank God, but like I can't activate like the different settings here, which is kind of annoying. And I only have like a limited amount of tracks I can go use. I can't use like the custom community lobbies. I can't multiplayer race anymore. So it's kind of annoying, but I mean, I'm not too bummed because I didn't play it too much. I mainly just did it to get practice on the Avata. Even though these things are so much faster than anything you'd probably find commercially that you could, or I'm sorry, not commercially, but like that you could buy retail. Alright, I'm gonna nail this, by the way. I want to go down the chimney. So let's float it. Let it sit. Come on. Oh, I'm not far enough back. We'll go down the middle here. That'd be a really cool maneuver to get down. I've seen someone do it in real life. It's actually one of like the most famous drone videos, I think, or most popular on all of YouTube. It's a guy out in like, I don't even know how to guess, like Ukraine or something. And he's going through this like super ghetto, rundown old like factory or something. And when he pops out doing all these flips from underneath, going high speeds, there's a smokestack that he sees much skinnier than something like this. In the center, he does exactly that, where he flips in and just lets gravity take it all the way to the bottom. And there's this tiny break in the bricks at the bottom that he just cruises through. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Oh, you saw them on ESPN? Yeah, I used to watch those all the time. They're a little hard on the eyes, and I don't know if that has to do with how they track, like, each corner. Like, you know how, like, in F1, it's probably taken them years to get down all the different camera angles from when they first started those events? I feel like Drone League's a little ways out, is what I'm trying to say. It's not bad, you know, it's tons of fun watching them, but I feel like, I don't know, it could use some work in how they broadcast it. For like what they're showing, I just feel like it could be way more intense. Oh, almost the first time I did that. Alright, let's just do some casual flying. I'm not gonna nail this. Like in real life, I'd never attempt that. I'd probably just go out and like do some like, yeah, I'd go to like a bridge or something maybe. Go surround it. Yeah, it really does. That's so true, Portal. It really does, man. Let's do some drops. Let's pick up the speed here. Oh, I'm at the range of it. Gotta get back to city limits. Which, I mean, for these drones, is probably accurate. I bet they can't really go that far compared to the operator, just because of their insane capabilities. But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm totally wrong about that. But like the Mini 4 Pro, for instance, like I think, I've never tested it because I don't really want to. I think it can go up to like 3 miles away, 2 miles away, something like that. Might even be a little farther. That was a bad one. Let me look it up. I'm curious. DJI Mini 4 Pro max distance. Oh wow, I was so wrong. I was so wrong. So I've probably gone about like 1.5 miles or something like that. So I guess, yeah, I just never really thought the capability was that much farther. It says online it can go 12.5 miles. Thanks to O4 video transmission system. The range requires an unobstructed air environment free of interference. Yeah, that makes total sense. That's so insane. Yeah, it's nuts, man. The goggles and the RC control thing that they use are nuts, man. The goggles make it so immersive, though. I was explaining that to Rusty before. That's kind of like the big difference. Other than like, so I have 2 drones, the Avata 2 and the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Oh no, went out of range. The Mini 4 Pro I like because it's an everyday thing that I could go hand to my dad and he could figure out how to use. He might not be good at it, but it's like, picture, how do I explain it? Picture almost like, have you guys seen like the PS Plus things or the PS Portables? How it's like, it's a controller, but between the 2 ends of a controller is a giant screen in the middle. That's kind of what the Mini 4 Pro thing is like, where you can literally watch the point of view of the drone through a screen, but you don't have goggle capability. Versus the Avata, the one that can do all the flips and stuff, you do have goggle capability, because you kind of need it for that level of agility. We'll go to campground, see what that is. Spot on, Rusty. Spot on. A little different, but spot on. And I say it's different because, how do I explain this? You feel a lot more like you're seeing real life than VR, which is the part that makes it a little, like for me, I get sick too in VR. Even like, maybe it was because it was an older model, but I first got the Oculus and I hated it. I remember when it first came out. Like the Oculus, it was the first one or the second one, I forget. But it made me super sick after using it for like 20 minutes. And no matter how many times I tried to like get used to it, it just never really, I guess, caught on. But anyway, when I tried this, way different experience. Yeah, you get the same thing, and that's mainly because you're doing flips, and it's kind of like being on a roller coaster where you get that nauseating feeling. But you don't get the VR sickness, and I think it's because you're not like staring at like generated graphics. You're staring at real life, you know what I mean? If that makes any sense at all. Alright, I'm just flying horribly right now. You have the one from 5 and Below. Hey, there you go, man. That's still tons of fun, though. You kidding me? I'm sure, honestly, if you ever looked at like the Best Buy website or something like that, you could probably find like the Mini 4 Pros even for pretty cheap nowadays. Maybe an old Avata, but you don't want the first Avata. You want the second. But yeah, I mean, nowadays, every model DJI comes out with that's new is like, it just keeps getting better and better. I think they have one called the Neo nowadays that, it's more like, kind of like what you're describing. I mean, it's kind of just more like a toy. I don't even know if you can actually physically fly it, but like it's like this little like mosquito helicopter thing that follows you around. Captures cool like GoPro images. The faster, yeah, seriously. Yeah, the real part makes a huge difference, Rusty. Huge difference. And I didn't think it would, but I checked out a lot of forums beforehand because I wasn't wasting my money. Knowing my experience in VR, I was like, I really need to read up on this. And everyone kind of said a similar kind of version of that. Some didn't always agree, some found it the same, but... Alright, not originals. What else do we have here? Let's try a track. Oh, come on. I always forget I don't have most of them. Oh, Hard Rock Stadium. That could be cool. Skate Park LA, Biosphere, Munich Playoffs, Atlanta, Ohio Crash Site. Miami Lights. Is there a difference between that and that one's Hard Rock? I don't know. Yeah, I probably want the one with no roof so I can go outside. Let's just do freestyle for now, and then we'll try track. Miami Lights. Slow, what's going on for the day, man? How's your day shaping up? You doing any racing? You just chilling? That's so funny, Portal. Oh my god. Whoa, where am I going? Alright. Let's get this thing cruising. There's so much dip in these. It's like gravity really takes these things down. Versus in the Avata, or I'm sorry, not the Avata, the Mini 4 Pro. Like, I wish I could give you like a visual example, but I can't really do it because these things are full FPV. So because they can flip, see how obviously I'm turning it. Because you have that capability, you instantly lose all stability control that the Mini 4 Pro has. And what I mean by that is the Mini 4 Pro, I can't really show you this, but if I was going in a straight line, for instance, I would have to hit my altitude like down, so to speak, to go down. Or I would have to hit it up to go up. But I would keep the same speed going in the straight line unless I adjusted so. And I could turn, and I could do this, and I could do that. But because this one has full flip, you'll notice that even when you're holding the accelerator in a straight line, sometimes you just get like this random, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you like, gravity essentially is taking you down. Especially you'll notice it when you let go of the throttle. There's just like another element of gravity involved in this one, flying it. Versus like you're pretty much cheating gravity in the other one. It's like a computer that has wings. Alright, let's do a flip in there. Whoa, that was not right. How do I want to line this up? Oh, that one's so sweet. These things are so fast. My Avata doesn't have this kind of speed. Northern Virginia. Yo, I can make that happen, Portal. I got you. You just tell me where to go, man. Honestly, I'm getting frustrated with this. I use my Mini 4 Pro so much more, but I was droning earlier, and I wanted to test out the Avata again. Oh my god, it's so awkward though. I guess it would be the same situation as, like, picture if you put up, like, your best FL on a daily, right? And, like, it took you an hour and a half, 2 hours, 4 hours to get that FL. And then someone told you, after not touching your sim wheel for, like, 2 months, to go and try and get that FL. It wouldn't feel right at first, you know what I mean? Probably have to do a lot of stuff to remember it. And the most annoying part, and it's kind of half the reason I got Liftoff, is Liftoff you can do a much better job since you have online capabilities at least getting your drone more lined up with what you have in real life. Versus, like, you have the ability to do manipulations on everything here in the drones in this game, but because it's a racing league, you're getting the world's fastest drones. So, like, everything, it's kind of like suddenly going the super formula, you know? Everything's just that much more torquey, more throttle, more everything. Alright, you know what? I think you have the right idea right now, Portal. Or who was that said it? Yeah, it was you. Northern Virginia. I remember you saying that yesterday, Rusty. So is that essentially, like, I've heard of them before, but I don't entirely understand what they do. Is that essentially give you, like, sound vibration on every single part of your instruments, so to speak? If I'm wording that right? Alright, tour time? Yeah, we'll do it. Oh, tour time. Can I change the name of my stream midstream? I think I can. Let's find out.